What's good, everybody? Yeah, it's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. Now, I want to talk about this thing with Alicia Keys and her recent comments on the Speedy Mormon show, which she sat down and talked about that, promoting her new album. She talked about her marriage to Swizz Beatz. And the one thing that's got people emailing me is that she admits that Swizz Beatz initially wasn't her type. So guys are emailing me and they're saying that, hey, this sounds very similar to what just happened with Tiffany Haddish and Common, and they want me to weigh in on it, and I will. But I think that it's not as easy as it seems, okay? And the reason why I'm saying that is because she's been married to the guy for 11 years. Okay, now Swizz Beatz is a very, very talented producer. Produced a lot for DMX and a lot of East Coast rappers in the 90s. Alicia Keys is a generational talent. She's beautiful. She can sing. She can play the hell out of that piano. She's been classically trained. And both of them have that in common because both of them are into music. And Alicia Keys put in the discipline to become what she is. And although she might not have liked Swizz Beatz for whatever reason, it could have been his attitude, it could have been his looks or anything like that, he initially overcame that, and she did get attracted to those things that's making their marriage successful. Now, she's very liberal. I don't like some of the things she talks about, okay? It doesn't make any sense to me. But those values are what keeps her with the guy that she's with. And she says that she's a soulmate. He's a soulmate. Now, I want to talk about in the manosphere because we could have some hypocrisy. When we tell black women to choose better, and Alicia Keys is biracial, but we consider her a black woman. Isn't that what she did? She could have been more attracted to somebody else, but she stayed within her socioeconomic class. She stayed within that factor. She selected a guy, and then what she did was she said, I might not necessarily like it, but let me just see what's going on with the guy. Let's see what his values are. And oh, you know what? Based on that, I feel like I'm more attracted to him now because of that. I think it's just not as black and white as we see with women. And I think this is a great example. We have grandparents that didn't think that way about each other and they got married. But I think that what happens is we look at Tiffany Haddish and Common and we see that when a woman like Tiffany Haddish, who's more from more of an urban environment, and even though Alicia Keys, the father was not there in her life, her mother was pretty strong and taught her these values at an early age. Tiffany Haddish is a hood chick. Okay? She's a hood chick. And because she has that hood mentality, being attracted to somebody physically when you first meet him is important for somebody like her. That's not true for every woman. If they were just initially dating for like 3 or 4 months, okay, fine, or a year. But Alicia Keys has been married to Swizz Beatz for going on 11 years now. They have 2 children together. I have every reason to believe what she's saying is correct. And in the culture of people divorcing and especially during COVID, they're still together. That leads me to believe that she did the right thing that the black manosphere would be teaching, which is you should choose a man based on his values and what you have together, and then you work with that. But I think the issue is that there's so many women who show evidence of not doing that. Every time a black man hears that a woman is not, attracted to a man at first, we think like, oh, she's going to be sleeping with somebody else. And it could be the truth. I don't know. I wouldn't doubt it. But certainly, it's not the same side of the coin for everybody. I would say, though, that if a woman says, initially, I'm not attracted to you, and it could be for whatever reason, what you said that day, or you come off as pompous, or she doesn't really know you that much, because a woman can be attracted, not attracted to you based off your personality or what your personality is perceived to be by her. If there was a chance to overcome that, she might feel that, oh, you know what, I like the guy. I want to be with him. But in the black community, we see so much that, okay, you don't look like what I think you should look like, or you act lame, you're instantly friend zone. So you as a man have to come out, really, really try hard to get out of the friend zone. Then she accepts you because there are no other options for her. And so she's just dealing with you until she gets somebody else. I think that's a different story. And yes, that does happen. I don't believe that was the case with Swizz Beatz and Alicia Keys. What I feel with them is that, okay, the first initial meeting, he was a little bit loud. She didn't like his personality a lot and all of that. But I just can't see a woman just, deciding to marry a man and have 2 kids by him if she don't feel like he's attractive. However, with Tiffany Haddish, I don't think that it was the fact that Common is not attractive to her. I just think that she thinks that he's lame. And she might think that she might need a more of a masculine, dominating personality. And I think that for whatever it is, people sometimes, when you look at, we're in America. Americans like what they see first. We like first impressions. We want to make a good impression the first time. We don't typically like to give second or third or fourth impressions. All right? But, if you look at some of the basketball players, look at the football players. Look at Joe Montana. Bill Walsh, who drafted Montana, I believe it was a 79 NFL draft. Okay? What did Joe Walsh say? That Joe Montana was the 3rd quarterback on his list. He wanted Phil Simms. He didn't want Joe Montana. Okay? He didn't want Joe Montana. But Joe Montana turned out to have a much better career than Phil Simms. Up until recently, we were seeing that he's the greatest quarterback of all time, right? It happens like that. The Portland Trail Blazers passed up on Michael Jordan in the 85 draft to take Sam Bowie. Jordan was ticky with Chicago. Well, is it safe to say that Jordan ended up being better than Clyde Drexler? Absolutely. So I think it's just not, life is just not, black and white. Now, what I would say is most urban black women in today's era, if they say I'm not attracted to him and he won me over, and if you're hearing he kept trying to date me, he kept coming on and things like that for 2 years, that might be different. I don't think she's saying that. Okay? And, people just need some time to get to know who they are. Same thing with friendships and stuff like that. So I just don't think this is the case. But what do you guys think? Her saying that. Do you think that it was disrespectful to him? In this case, I don't think so. Again, they've been married for 11 years. They stayed married during this COVID time. I think she made the right choice. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first clip at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains the all-time high. I'm out.